Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today John is the motorcycle rescuer and this is Motorcycle Rescuer. On a project, we've done a lot of searching actually online, and last night I was racking my head. I was going, we must know someone, there must be a bike ditched somewhere, and then we found this one. Now you may recognise this bike. This was Danny DT Essex's bike at first, and then it was warranted. So this bike has been warranted, which means, you know, it's going to need a bit of work, because anything Warren's had will need a bit of work. Saying that, it's in good nick, guys. You know, it's lasted. It's been on the road a year. It hasn't started for the last couple of months. Now, I kicked it over a few times earlier, and I think the main thing was that we don't know if it has spark, if it has fuel or whatever. So we got to strip it down. But this is a non-running bike, completely non-running at this stage. This is going to be John's project. So in a way, I'm going to do a little bit of that thing I do where I sit back and film more while you watch John do the work, if that makes sense. I do that sometimes, but John actually does know what he's doing anyway. So I think this will be interesting. Let's see if we can get this non-running bike running. Now I think we'll have this running in 2 hours. Right guys, so here we are. Right, so let's do this for you guys. Let's do this for you. Let's have you in mind, right? Somebody said, I've got a bike in my garden, it used to be my son's or daughter's. It's sitting there, you can have it. Give me 100 quid, give me 200 quid, whatever, or it's for free. So you've got the bike. What's the first thing you do? John's right, you give it some kicks, although I don't think he had the key on. He didn't, so kicking it was no point. Yeah, of course you can give it some kicks. It's highly unlikely that it's going to fire up. So what's next? What are you looking for in your bike? Well, step number one is get the battery out, guys. If you have a charger or access to a charger, go and pull it on. So step one really, I think, is get the battery out and get it on charge if you have one, which we do. So that's what I'm going to do. Now step two for me is check for spark, check for fuel. Now we know it has fuel in the tank, but we don't know if it's sparking. That could be simple, a wire could have come loose. So I think we're going to pop the seat, and I think we're going to pop off and have a look at the carb and spark plug, etc. This is always exciting, what's under the seat. Knowing Warren, I'd be a bit worried. There's a pair of underpants there. Oh, that's not too bad. You know what, for one, that's not too bad. Is that the MOT? There you go, John, I think that's the MOT, mate. Is it? He's so organised, it is and all. What's the date?
It expires in May 22.
June.
May,
end of May. Okay, what are we now? January. Loads of time. So here, lucky enough, this panel is loose, but I think we will take this whole bowl out. So John, we take all these 10s out, and then we'll lift the whole bowl out, and then we have access to the spark plug and everything. I think that's the way forward. So John's going to take all these 10s out. We're going to lift this whole top off. We've got access to the whole thing. And while he's doing that, I'm going to pop out the battery and chuck it on charge just to see what's going on. So keep it simple. Bowl out, battery on charge. Right guys, so I'm down here, and look, wait a minute John, I was just saying to John that these bikes in London with a lot of weight on them, they get hammered. And then I went to the cap here and it wasn't pushed in fully. So I think the cap's popped off. It might.
Is that on?
I don't know actually, John. Try no, I think that's on, but we'll try both. So we'll just kick it a couple more times. The problem now is that the fuel would be quite stale in there. It won't matter, John. It won't matter. Okay, so we'll kick it a couple of times, but we are going to strip it properly anyway. It will probably need a carb clean, and we've got the products. But the spark plug cap wasn't seated properly. So what are we looking for? Apart from £10 notes, hidden cocaine, what are we looking for? So I think for me, did you say there's fuel in here, John?
Yeah.
So for me, you know, the fuel is probably step one. We need to make sure that's getting down to the carb. So if you find the fuel line, which is this one here, is it this one? Which one's the fuel line? And then here's a suction line. So I personally would pop off this suction line, pop off this fuel line, and see if fuel is, come on, see if fuel is coming out. Right. Oh, so there you go. Right. So actually, we've got a trickle of fuel in there anyway, but I'm gonna pull on that and see if fuel is coming out at this stage, out of curiosity. Give me the spark plug. So look, guys, we pulled the spark plug out. Notice anything there? There's no electrode. So it's a snap spark plug. It's actually in here. So the electrode connector is actually in the end of there. So that's a fairly easy fix. We need a spark plug. Let's check.
Yeah, there's one in there.
It won't be the same, John.
It is.
What?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. Where's your plug spanner?
Here. It won't be.
And the spanner?
Won't be. It won't be. John's stripping the other bikes for parts, but it won't be the same. This is CR7 HSA, John. So let's put a new spark plug in and let's see if we've resolved our problems immediately. So I'm off to Halford to assure me they've got the spark plug in stock. They always do that and then they don't. And when I get back, this bike will fire, I'm sure. John's going to do a little bit of routine maintenance while waiting. So guys, I did a Halfords run to get a new spark plug, which is there. John's cleaned up the bike big time. It looks really shiny, nipped up everything. We've secured any nut or bolt that was slightly loose, and I think that will fire up in a minute. We've got Gary over here. I don't know if you guys remember how pink this was. It was kind of, it's hard to see, but kind of pinky. And I told Gary to buy the Turtle Wax Repair and Shine. And my God, here you go, look at the roof colour. Right, you see that, yeah, it's pinky. And that Turtle Wax Repair and Shine is brilliant stuff, I mean, unbelievable. And once he puts a dry rag on it, because what it leaves is it leaves a wax there. So once you put a dry rag on it, then it comes through what's happened. So that's going to look stunning. You can see here a bit pinky. It hasn't been done there. In fact, and I did this little patch last week just to show Gary what it would look like. Quite pinky there, and you can see it here a lot. Very pinky compared to, you know, some bits that have already been done. And that stuff's just miracle stuff. It just works brilliantly. Alright guys, so spark plug's back in. Now, technically this should fire. My concern is that E10's been in there for 3 months. So it may not. Do you want to give it a couple of kicks, John? So we've got a spark now, guys. That's kind of the main thing. If that's all on, John. Let's see, you never know. Otherwise it'll need a...
No battery in it.
It don't matter.
Okay.
Otherwise it'll need a quick carb clean. I think it's going to need a carb clean. It's so easy to access, guys, it will take me minutes. Alright guys, we're in a bit of a race against the light, but here you go. Carb was the pilot jet was absolutely blocked, completely blocked, and the spray didn't even clear it. I had to poke things in. So you know, it's well worth doing. It had to be cleaned, otherwise it wasn't going to do anything. Spark plug was also still a bit touchy. Have you sorted that, John?
Yeah.
John's done something with that. It should start, so I'm going to chuck this back on as quick as possible. We're going to chuck it back in, suck some fuel through, and see if we're lucky. Alright guys, 1 minute. So, carb's cleaned and back on. John's so bloody keen. Honestly, the pilot jet was completely blocked. It would never have started. So, spark plug's good. So, you know, in theory, it should start up, in theory. I feel like that kick, you're better off turning the other way. That using your left leg. You got no strength in your left leg.
I have, yeah.
Come on, John, give it a good kick. Huh? Yeah, that don't feel great, does it? Okay guys, it started with the battery in. We're going to give it a couple of minutes to kind of sort itself out, and then when the choke comes off and it's kind of cleaned itself through, we'll just see if it actually runs at all. The other thing is, oh, is that fuel spill, John?
Yeah.
There is some, John, on the yeah, that was from earlier. Oh, where's that coming from? I spilled a bit there earlier, John, but
Quite a lot.
that's more than a bit. I mean, we have an engine. There's an exhaust blow, but we have a running engine there. Maybe the float valve there, John. Maybe. I didn't clean it. I checked it, but I didn't clean it. Maybe a piece of gum. Oh, where did that come from, John? I saw it. It's not going to do it if that's spilling out from somewhere. Oh, hang on, John. I'll turn it off. Go on. Alright, stop there, John. We have a good engine, but that spat out from somewhere, so I think we need another quick look at the carb, because whatever's going on there isn't good. Okay guys, so where we stand today is, yes, it starts and fires up and revs a little. We're not happy with the fuel in there. It's been sitting a long time and it's E10, so it will be stale. So we want to drain the fuel and put in fresh, nice fuel. And actually, where the exhaust stud isn't great, it never was on this bike, for 35 quid we can get a whole new cylinder head. In fact, does that come with a piston, John?
Yeah.
You can get a whole top end. I mean, a top end rebuild for 35 quid would be silly not to.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably next Saturday's job there, John. So
All of the parts.
we'll order the head. The battery's fine, the battery will be fine, although it died much quicker than it should have.
I mean, we're not sure if it's charging properly.
Well, the battery dying that quick, John, it wouldn't anyway. So I think you might see us do a top-end rebuild on this bike. And I think, John, for our peace of mind, that could be a good thing. I mean, it could be worth £850 if it's had a rebuild, you know. I don't know what the actual mileage is on it. Oh, John, it's done 22,000 kilometres, though, so what, 15,000 miles?
Yeah.
Do you know what? Let's order the head.
Yeah.
I'll order it to mine, so that we've got it. I think it'll be a nice video.
I'll start stripping it down during the week.
Not you, though.
What?
I don't think that's a good idea, John. I think you should always strip the bike down when the new parts are here, so that you can do a direct swap and a comparison. So if I was you, I wouldn't strip it in the week. But you could drain the fuel and put in fresh fuel. Because you can still run it like that with that air. You can still see if it runs better. I'd probably lose that rear stand. That rear stand's had it. I'd probably take that off and just use the side stand. Yeah. Alright guys, so there was a kind of a one-day project. Gary's car came out nice, although there's a problem with his radio or something. We put in the radio last week, and what happens is all of the buttons and knobs underneath are a bit weird. So we don't know how to do it.
Do you think you need to the cables like across over here?
I think you have to have a look online So have a look online and see what's going on. So that's it, guys. We'll see you next week. I'm not off this week, so there won't be many midweek videos. I'll put one up maybe Wednesday, just bits and pieces. But next week you'll probably see a top end rebuild on this bike. I think that'll be quite fun, John. Also, for our peace of mind, sending out a bike that's had a rebuild, John. It'll be worth a few more pounds there, I think. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Let me know how you think we did on this bike today. Let us know how John's doing. John's been in a lot of videos recently. You comment a lot about Sultan, who's, you know, let's face it, useless. It's nice having John at the garage, and of course Gary in the background. Look how nice the car's come out. It looks brand new. It looks brand new. Long day today, guys. Long day. We're losing the light.